they can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
A Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals presented by Aon. Boston Nationals is the 16th and last stop on the 2023-24 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Volley and Fusion, and local sponsors. Local presenting sponsor Aon, secondary court sponsor Santo Tequila, local sponsors Bully Boy Distillers, Columbus Overgroup, Viga and Kilgore Team Compass, Hillary Maddox Team Compass, Crestwood Advisors, DraftKings, FB Insurance Services Incorporated, Harpoon, Needham Bank, Norfolk and Dedham Insurance, Pure Insurance, UBS, WAC, and Win Stanley Enterprises. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Brad Easterbrook, bringing you this women's semifinal match between the number 1 seeds, Lynn Burus and Macy Elliott, and the number 3 seeds, Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sikora. Hi, Brad. You want to tell us about who we have out there today?
Absolutely. Thanks, Lauren. Yes, so on the bottom left of our screen, we have Lynn Burus and her partner to her right. She's in the kind of the blue vest there. And her partner on the bottom right of your screen, Macy Elliott. And on the top of your screen, on the top left, is Charlotte Sikora. And on the top right is her partner, Allison Morgan. And it should be a great matchup. They played a few times this year. And, you know, they did actually beat him, Morgan Sikora, in December 1st. And they came back. I think they had actually a match point, Elliott and Kiro. And they came back against them the last couple of times, so they didn't fare as well the last time they played them. But,
yeah, the last couple of times have been much easier for Burus and Elliott, who we have to say have really improved since the start of the year.
Yeah, they've separated themselves. We should also note, so Mikey Himsky in the chair out there today. He's up there keeping control of all this out there. And those guys, yeah, Elliott and Burus have brought it to a new level, actually, in the second level. They've been able to take out Hannah Sabori in pretty solid fashion the last 2 times they've played them, and they've really just changed it to a game. It's almost like if they don't do something to themselves, make some misses and fault a little bit, they're just so solid. They volley well. They hit massive challenging serve, which sort of blunts drives from opponents. I don't think there's a team that's more athletic or able to cover more court than they are. And they even got a rooting section out there. I think there's a crew that came down here from Wilton and the whole crew, and you could hear Mikey Himsky in the chair announcing the players. But so what do you see about this match? You did call the last match before.
It was interesting yesterday. I mean, when Burus and Elliott played their quarter match against Lalich and Alexandre, they won the first set pretty comfortably, 6-2, and then they were in all kinds of trouble in the second set. I mean, it ended up being 6-3, but Lalich and Alexandre were up in the early part of the set, had chances to go up 4-2, and they were the first team that I've seen that looked like they could sort of match Burus and Elliott in their ability to play all over the court, run everything down, they weren't cowed by the power and the athleticism, and I think just their steadiness and their ability to get everything back, it made Burus and Elliott press a little bit and try for maybe too much on their serves and try to make too much out of their shots, and that's what Sikora and Morgan have to do today. They are also very athletic, and they can also stay with Burus and Elliott, and they just have to make sure they have to keep their game very clean and not make any errors.
Yeah, well, Morgan and Sikora were extremely strong in their quarterfinal matchup against Delmonico and Gebbia. They took them down 2-1, and never gave him a chance to get off the mat. You know, they just attacked them relentlessly on the serve and return. Delmonico and Gebbia had no answer for it and could really not get into the points. And when they did get into the points, they were just so solid, lobbing, controlling the point, and then taking the drive when they had them off the net in basically textbook fashion. And all these teams, you know, you watch out for these moments where they're going to have a few errors and the other team gets in, you let them back in, because it's impossible to play a match completely error-free. They really had very few of that. There was like a moment where Sikora overplayed a deep lob and just played the wrong shot, like an offensive shot in a place where she should just be playing it back. But those moments were so few and far between that they just, comfortably went on in their match. And, we'll see out here. Mm-hmm. It looks like Morgan, Charlotte Sikora has the ball and is ready to serve, and we're underway here. So Charlotte Sikora to serve, her partner Allison Morgan at the net. And that ball is long. And of course, one more time in the backcourt here, the bottom of your screen, Macy Elliott to the right in the deuce court, and Lynn Burus in the ad just hitting that return there. So that serve is also long. Rudy Love.
Yeah, it's a big moment. I mean, semis of nationals and it's big crowd watching, and sometimes it just takes a little bit to get your heart racing under control.
Yeah, and it's sort of like an age-old question, though. Like when you're playing a team, and you were saying that Alexandre and Lalich were able to sort of almost match them, but they really made their move to go ahead by staying steadier and allowing sort of Burus and Elliott to make a few mistakes, right? And they just weren't intimidated by their power and thing. They stayed with them. But they didn't try to out-athleticize them, or they didn't try to out-hit them, correct?
Well, Lalich, she does try. I mean, she was smacking the ball, and she would. But the thing is, it's hard to make an impression on Burus and Elliott just by, trying to out-hit them. They handle it so well, and they're so athletic that you have to really combine it with combinations of shots. And Alexandre and Lalich, they had moments where they did that. But yes, it was also because Burus and Elliott started to miss a little bit more.
Yeah, and Burus and Elliott, they also have, to me, one of the big transformations is Elliott going to an overhand serve, and not just an overhand serve, but maybe one of the best ones in the game.
Huge, a huge overhand serve, yeah.
With spin, and in many cases in the women's game, these top teams, they have such good returns, and it's a big part of how they win points. And in fact, I was talking about it before, how Morgan and Sikora literally, they really took it to Gebbia and Delmonico with the return game and the blitz game, and it was something they had no answer for. But Elliott and Burus throw in such good serves that the teams they're playing against just get less, strikes, and they get less points out of that, which means you got to find a way to win more points another way. The only negative is every now and then they'll go into a serving zone where they do miss a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the revelation that Macy Elliott has this huge serve after, her push serve, which she used yesterday too, because some of her serves were, because it was warm, her serves were hanging up high in the screen, and on some of them they were getting attacked, and she mixed in the push serve nicely and used it. But her serve is just, it's fantastic now.
Yeah, and I think you're making a great point. I think along with a lot of things, people need to adjust and find a way to do it. I'm not sure why I haven't seen more people let Elliott serve go to the screen and take a screen drive, because it will come out in front of the baseline, and you can get a good screen hit out of it, which you can almost be deceptive with. Still, a lot of players are just opting to block it. And if it's not going to the crease, I would definitely let it go off the back wire. All right, so one love here for Burus Elliott. Great start for them, and he was aided with a couple. We talked about faults, and we had 2 faults in that first game from Sikora. There's a fault there, and look at this. This is how they started yesterday. Very brazen positioning at the net, looking for the blitz position. You see Sikora actually standing on the service line, and if she gets a strike, she's going to hit this ball early and down.
The last time they played, she did that too. Sikora was all over the net.
That was a huge return from Morgan and perfectly executed play there. if they're going to do that, they would want to throw in a couple of moves too, Elliott and Burus, because if Elliott is able to cut off a ball and volley it back down and get right on top of the net, they can turn that play against them. Blitz is a very, very strong risk-reward play. If you're able to volley down and play it aggressively, then you can hurt the other team. If not, this is what's going to happen, and that's a great job. Sikora with a self-blitz there. Volley in the middle. Boom, boom, boom. She's just going forward. These guys are going back. Well done. Yeah, that's the move where they could get into some trouble if they're able to cut it off. Oh! She read that perfectly. See, that's a smart play from Sikora. She let that big serve go off the back wire. And that's an adjustment that all these teams should be doing, because these guys are serving big, but they will come off the wire and into the back court. So 2 break points saved now for Burus and Elliott.
Good serve there.
Yeah, big body blow. She couldn't quite get out in front of it. Ball played her a bit, so really strong serve there, very challenging. And as we're talking about, that is a difference maker for Elliott and Burus. It's one of the things that, and one of the reasons why they're seated first here. See, that's such a smart play of that screen drive there. She's able to move forward into it. Oh, just caught her is right, and you don't see that very often from Morgan.
No.
She's normally very backhand volley ready.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's a positionally such a great volleyer, always in the right position.
And I think that's a testament to how well, Burus held that ball. She held it on her racket and then flipped it at her quickly, and she just wasn't ready. And that's a great hold there from Love 40 down. But as quickly as they got up with the blitz plays, they went back down quickly. That game, even though it was like a deuce game, it lasted all of 1 minute. I don't think we've seen 5 screens played yet in these first 2 games.
Yeah. I didn't think the last time they played that the perpetual blitz where Sikora was just starting up at the net on the return, on Morgan's return, was working at all. And it looked like it was going to that first game, but definitely wasn't a winning play for they ended up losing the game.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt they're looking to find their way. And it's definitely one of these deals where Morgan and Sikora are really trying to find the right kind of strategy. And if it's not working, I assume they're going to adjust.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it as a tactic, but you got to make sure you're doing it right, because it's a quick way to win points, but it's also a quick way to lose them. Wow, what a great volley that was. It was a perfect combination, live drive combination. But the biggest transformation this year has been from Allison Morgan just being able to strike more balls. And look at that, that's going to go wide. She tries to make perfect lob there and just pushes it wide. I like the idea and the tactic and the play, but she couldn't execute, trying to make it too good. She's driving so many more balls, Lauren. Allison Morgan.
And she likes that drive, that quick drive off the screen, where she just kind of moves up the side screen and bunts it. And that's been a good play for her too. And I think we'll see a lot of that in this match as well.
Just a little long, pushed that one, didn't quite get over it. talk a lot about how Morgan and Sikora are really on this kind of journey to keep adding things to their game, and it's not about winning now, it's about the long-term goal, and they have the best attitude out there. She is working on this. I was talking to Charles Sikora last night, and we were talking about actually some of the shots and they really did play they played a great match in the quarterfinal. They won 2-1, but the one area they were missing is like, going back, she was hitting these rollers, but instead of, like, from well behind the service line, but instead of hitting them like rollers up and deep, she was netting them, and she missed like 2 or 3 of them. And we were talking, but she's like, I can make that shot. I said, well, what's the purpose on it? And we were talking, so she's putting more air on it now. She's actually working on hitting a roller from behind the service line. The effect works as a more offensive version of a reset, So you'll see these guys do some experiments, the press forward positions.
Yeah, I mean, they've done an amazing job, Morgan and Sikora, of going from being a very good team to being definitively, one of the 3 best teams out here.
Yep.
And they've added a lot to their game, and they work hard, and they're incredibly fit and incredibly athletic, and it's paying off.
And they came in, with all these great players out there. These guys were in the top 6 in the APTA Cups, getting a little bit of that money. Sikora, Morgan getting 3,000 out of the 50,000 pot, which is pretty impressive. They've had a great year. And, they are the 3rd seed here at Nationals, and it's deservedly so.
Right.
They like this tempo, and when you were saying that Alexander and Lowrich, they were hitting their shots, but they were also making sure they were not giving away too many points. I think the tempo might have been a little fast in those first couple of games for Morgan and Sikora, and that's a beautiful waterfall there from Allison Morgan. That's long. She makes her chase it, and there's the first game there for Morgan and Sikora. It's 2-1. And it's time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Aon. And Aon is so proud to be a title sponsor of the APTA Nationals. Aon exists to shape decisions for the better. They provide their clients with advice and risk and human capital solutions and give them the clarity and confidence to make better decisions to protect and grow their businesses. Aon is the business of better decisions. They are in the business of better decisions, and I do love that ad because it's so appropriate to all the decisions that players are making out here every moment. And I think Morgan and Sikora did a great job there, sort of came out a little fast and heavy, but we'll see if they stay with the press forward blitz opportunity thing on this next game.
I think they will. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so we were talking about the Macy Elliott heavy serve that she hits in hard, and so far Sikora's doing what I think is the right thing. Let it go to the screen, take the screen drive, and you can be a little deceptive with that screen drive. So here comes the heavy big serve. No press forward blitz position here. It's usually where Sikora's going to hit it and go herself. Love that play.
Sikora's an intimidating presence up there. She's tall. She covers the whole net really well. She volleys well.
Nice hands there. Now it should be noted that big heavy serve that Elliott is hitting. It is very effective and more effective into the ad court because if it kicks in, it's going to kick into the side wire or off the side wire, so it'll still stay deeper in the court. When she's hitting it really heavy to the center, it does come out. This is a great blitz move, but just the overplay on the volley. But
that's that little sliding backhand shot that she's added that she hits down on and comes in, looking for the volley to come up to her.
Now this big serve from Elliott has been a huge change, but on this side, I wouldn't mind her taking a little pace off of it and developing a second time. At that time, she's trying to kick it wide, which will keep it towards the back instead of going hard off the center screen. All right, so 15-30.
I think she will, Brad. I think if she's not having success with it, or Charlotte Sikora is using it to her advantage, I think Elliott will switch her serve on that side.
Yeah, that was a great return there. And the negatives about that's a good chase down, beautifully played. It's one of the things that all the top teams, and we have the top 4 teams in the women's game out here. And I guess it's not a big surprise, you know, because they've really sort of separated these top 4 teams. And it's sort of like Sikora and Morgan have pretty much beaten everyone. And the only losses they have are to the other top 3 teams, right?
Right.
Same thing with our other semifinal, Halbauer and Nicolescu, seeded 4th here. The only teams they've lost to are Hannes Labori and Burus and Elliott. That's called wide.
Oh, just missed it.
And yep. It's confirmed by the umpire. And then, so 30-40 here, break point here. I love this. They're putting in a lot of pressure. We talked about the big serve, but it does bounce up, and if they get a read on it, they can hit this thing down, and there's that heavy pressure. Sikora wisely backs off on that one. Yeah, this is where they've gotten so much smarter. They learned how to start dumping the ball into a position. I don't know that there's a team in the women's game who's better. See, that's a mistake to me. Why is she hitting an overhead down from backing up? She should go to the push overhead and close back in. I was about to say, when she missed that ball there, they're getting to be the best. When they use the push overhead, there's no better team who closes off the net than, and they should keep using that. When they get pushed back, just hit the pillow unless your partner calls for the blitz. Just hit the push overhead deep, get back in. Their volleying skills are exceptional, and it's hard for the opponents to actually, you know, hurt them on their drives when they get close to the net.
Good swoop. See the switch of the net to get Sikora hitting the overheads.
That's a great cross-court lob there. They switch the play from the ad to the deuce, and a perfectly placed lob. So much of this game is understanding where the next shot needs to go. And when your opponents do switch the play from one side to the other, there's usually a quick opportunity for either drive or a lob to the good place that catches them in transition. So Morgan's so quick.
Yeah.
Good battle here. Oh, great touch there from Burus. She's backing off. She's a little defensive position, but instead of trying to strike back, she just drops the ball shorter and lower. And then Sikora's got to play a ball from under the net, and she just pushes it out. Hard to keep that in if you go for offense. Sikora might have wanted to do a touch volley back, so great shot there from Burus. Both these teams working blitz moves to apply pressure.
Good pace on that overhead.
Yeah, great waterfall. And she's gotten caught twice on that a little. She might want to, she's reaching up for them. She's not sure if they're going right in the crease, but that's what a good overhead does. It makes you make a choice, and shows wrong in a couple of them. A really good pace and placement. Overplay.
That one.
Yeah, overplay, and this is where she actually goes for a big one. I'm surprised she went for such a hard shot, and I would like it if Burus, I do think partner communication there is important to tell your partner there's nobody there, just roll it in there.
Helped by a missed serve at 30-all.
Yeah, it's been a lot of great points and great shot making, just a couple of faults and a few of the errors, you know, gifting a little bit back and forth. Great volley there from Morgan. Pace, and she's really developing a lot of variety in her overheads. Just keep working it.
That to me is the biggest change in her game this year, is she has so many overheads and she's mixing them up well, and she's using the soft one when she needs to. It's nice to watch.
Yeah, and you know, Charlotte Sikora, she's really developing a very good roller. She can hit the hard one. She's hitting one with a little, you know, more spin. She's trying to hit one that goes up that works as a reset. Great job there. They're just sort of outlasting him in these points.
Yeah.
Just got to cut down on a couple of errors here. But once they get up to the net and they get solid, they're doing a great job moving the overheads around and giving them very little looks.
And, you know, that's the thing, Brad. It's easy to say, well, if you can just, you know, outlast them or stay with them. But in order to be able to outlast Burus and Elliott, you have to be able to be, you know, as athletic as them. And you have to be able to hit as many, you know, you have to be able to blitz, and you have to be able to hit those different overheads. Otherwise, they'll just roll right over you.
All right, time to talk about volley. And volley would like to thank the APTA tournament host clubs, players and pros for an amazing 2023-24 season. With over 1.3 million balls thrown this year, volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and improve their game. Download the Volley app now by searching Volley Racket in your app store. For more information, visit getvolley.com/getstarted. And we'll see you all next season. Yeah, it's just a great product. Definitely go check it out. So Volley Racket in your app store and getvolley.com/getstarted. And just progress, you know, tracks your progress as well. So interesting start, a great, you know, I think the teams are playing what they want to. It's really just kind of a question of execution at this point. Lauren, any thoughts?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, look, it's certainly very close at this point. And it's like you said, it's going to come down. I feel like felt like this a little bit the last time they played. Is it's going to come down to who can maintain the, you know, the least amount of loose shots, which is often the case in a paddle match. But I think in this match, they can all do so many things, and they're going to all do their, you know, they're going to. Everyone's offense is going to be on par, but it's going to come down to who makes fewer mistakes.
See, here's where I think that right now, Elliott and Burus have got to get some control of the down hard ones. One of the transformations for me, and especially that I've seen, is their ability to they started using the push overhead deep and getting back in position. There she's hitting a down up. It's not going to the side screen. And Sikora is just crushing a backhand. That's the wrong overhead for them. You know, and they have to look, if they're going to hit an attacking overhead, get it into the side screen and create some movement in that backcourt tube, fine. But there, she's backing up and just basically feeding it to her. And right now, they're playing a little hot and heavy with those things. When they get the opportunity, they got to just push these things deep. And then when they have a ball they can work with, go ahead. And
don't you think some of that is because they're feeling unsure about where to put their overheads, because Morgan and Sikora are doing such a good job in the backcourt?
Yeah, I think it's partly. I think it's also just right now they haven't really lost track of it in their head still, and they don't mind playing it faster here. Because part of the reason I think they could, you know, both teams actually, if they just cut down on a couple of, and not only just plain old errors, but like opportunities they're giving the other team, cut those away, and it's a big deal. Yeah, I like that return where you serve it more wide to Sikora's forehand. I'd rather she try to beat you on that return than the that big cross court or the big backhand in the middle.
Yeah, well, if you have a choice, you'd rather give her a forehand than a backhand.
And of course, it's not that she has a bad forehand. It's just
No.
her backhand's just better. Yeah, that's it. Push it deep if you don't have a better shot, right? And then when you have a good shot, take it. But otherwise, maintain that position and control. That's a good job. I love Morgan and Sikora making the move. And she,
look at that.
It's as if she didn't know she moved over there, and she got it right in the backhand. You know, which would have been a fine play if Morgan's standing there, but that ball's just right in the wheelhouse, and that's 2 balls that Burus is basically just set up for the #1 offense on the court there. Right into Morgan's
backhand. She didn't see her? Do you think she didn't notice, or she didn't process quickly enough?
And if she didn't, they got to start being aware of the switch in the backcourt. That's the second switch they make, which I love, and they're doing it for that very reason, to create a different look. That's just too good.
That is a great shot.
Yeah, but that game, they're making it. And again, even that one, it's a switch of direction, and it's just right there. But that was tricky ball because she was on her heels, and she actually just sort of pushed it cross court, completely caught her by surprise. That was a great shot there from Sikora. All right, 3-3. That's a great spot. She caught her. Great place to hit a volley off a right-handed player. Boom. Hit a drive. Yeah, great shot. Woo.
Morgan and Sikora just not giving them anything to work with in the back there.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. And it's sort of the battle in the middle of the point. Can these guys lob well enough to get them out of position and get the strike they want? And can the other team hit it and get back into position, and then start to attack and get them out of position? And so right now, they're just probing and working it. Moving the lobs, neither team really getting much of a foothold. This is a typical battle that we repeat time and time again in every paddle match. High lobs there. Going to change up the tempo a little. High lob. And the high lob can also get them lulled. And it can be, if she hits it deep enough, be a good ball to be looking for a blitz on. That's short though. She's got to get a little deeper. I think once we see her get one up into that zone, we're going to see a blitz. Both these teams have so much confidence in their partners' drives that if you see either Macy Elliott or Lynn Burus gets set up for a drive, the other guy's going to get moving forward if she has any advantage at all. And you'll see the same from Morgan and Sikora.
and they're all four very comfortable blitzing.
Yeah, for a long time, it was really a source of probably 70–80% of Allison Morgan's offense. She's really hitting more balls now and creating more for her partner. But the lob and blitz was the source of much of her offense, and now she's totally transforming the way she's playing with more aggressive returns, and that is just a great spot. Again, two perfectly placed balls on the right hip of Morgan, and that's for the 2 points that for Burus and Elliott.
What it takes to win a point off the drive, right? It's not good enough to just hit it well. You have to place it well.
Yeah, it was a great job, and they finally got the one ball they could hit. They take it, they execute. Perfect point. Oh, trying to hit like a waterfall from a little too far back. Sikora's tall. She has a terrific waterfall. And if there's an area the only area that they missed a few balls in yesterday in their quarterfinal, it was that, just overplaying it overhead from a position. And that is a good break so far. I'm not sure. Do you think, Lauren, that she thought more like Sikora was going to move over and take it? Because she looked like she was a little surprised.
Yeah, she did. She looked like
her.
She stopped for a second. I don't know. Or maybe she was looking up to see where Elliott was. I don't know, something. But she doesn't normally miss volleys like that are pretty much on her paddle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't normally see her miss that volley either, which leads me to think that something, spooked her a little. But good start to the match so far. We've really been mostly on break. Outside of that 2-love lead for Burus Elliott, it's been a host of service breaks and great returning. And that one had a lot of back and forth, though, in the points. They're going to serve and stay back here against Morgan, or she's just taking one here with the new ball.
New ball serve.
All right, we'll see here. Yeah, so that's just a practice serve. Let's see if she takes one more. She might want to hit one. Everybody has their quirks and foibles. Yeah, she wants to get one in with a new ball before they start it up. All right, so new ball. Here we go. I like this little conversation here. Big moment. They just get the break. Nobody's been able to really consolidate it except for in the early goings. Yeah, that hard one to the middle. You're basically giving up the net because she's letting it come off. So I guess it's fine, but I'd like to see her bring that seam inside a little bit. Or she's going to do that hard one to the middle. I actually would love to see them do an I formation, actually. Because she's bringing Sikora way over almost into Morgan's court.
She is bringing her into Morgan's court, yeah.
So put Burus in the middle, and it just kind of squeezes the area she can hit it. Right now, if Burus is way on the side, Morgan's driving from the other side. There's no, it's a layup to hit it right down the line,
15 left.
That is an early lob. I love that she takes it early. It changes tempo. And it was perfectly in terms of distance, but it was just a little wide, directionally challenged on that one.
It was perfectly placed except for the wide part.
Except for the wide part, yeah.
Which is a big except, but.
It is, yes. Ooh, stab volley there. Great hands. Right at the crease. Good play from Sikora. They read it, but it's moving too fast for her to handle. And that was take aim right at that, the heavy roller.
Yeah.
Sikora sees it, but it comes out
She
high.
overran it a little, right? Her hands were a little moved too much, and she just over went past it.
All right, here, challenging serve here.
What a great game for Burus, Elliott. That feels good to win your serve quickly at 4-3 and open up the lead, and now they're in position to win this first set.
Well, they've had good success breaking so far. And that was a really good service game. You know, a couple of good challenging serves. Good job getting to the net that time. Great attacking overhead by Burus. Oh, look at that laser beam. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Morgan really trying to focus on that down the line lob, get the ball to move to the middle where Sikora can do exactly what she just did there. Start the attack. Lobbing good and deep. They're really keeping them back. It was well done from the baseline there. You could see Elliott try to roll over that. It's sort of an up roller on that one. Quite enough topspin on it. Roll it over a little. Pulls it up and out. There's a good lead there from Alice Morgan because it was very close. It was dipping heavy at the end.
Another just rope of a forehand.
Yeah, there's so much offense on the court. When these guys hit a really good deep lob like that, you know, we're going to see a lot of this transition play because that was just an awesome forehand there. But it was started with that great lob down the line. Nowhere really for Sikora to hit that ball. That's a good roller. And see that. She winds it around her. She can't get a block on it, and it's coming in hot and low. Very tough. All right, there you go. She tells her she's bouncing it, and Sikora decides to stay up. I like it. It's like she can press her, but maybe ultimately it hurt them because she gets stuck up there and she never does transition back. All right, 2 points for the first set for Burus and Elliott. That's a big one. She's going to get a drive there. Another one coming. She's got to spot that a little better. I don't dislike it, but she can't fly it where it's flying too far up and in. Oh, all right, battled through that.
Yeah, the Burus had a good look at that.
Boom. Just the net got in the way. All right. Good points. Set point now for Burus and Elliott. That's wide, I thought. Ooh, in there,
I think it
great.
stayed in, but when she hit it, it looked like it was going wide. Ooh, that's wide.
That was wide. I knew something
long.
was going wide. Foretelling it.
Yeah, you're way ahead of the game, Brad.
Yeah, I'm just saving it. Roll going for the crease there. Great soft hands.
Oh, nice close by Elliott there.
Yeah,
Right on top of the net.
right there, but still a good enough drive where she couldn't actually put it away. Oh, tough one. Tries for a little bit of an off-pace drive there off the screen, but it's a little behind her. All right, set point again for Burus. She goes hard overhead and bails, which was smart. Now she's going to work her way back in. Good help. She's going to have to get over there now. Too hard on that one. Oh,
More good help.
that's a great job. Let's talk about the athleticism of these teams out here. Coming from one side to the other. I think Morgan could have let that ball drop and played it a little. She kind of went up and down. It gave it a little more air time. Still just tremendous coverage at this point here. All the teams recognizing what a big moment it is, and awesome job. Morgan and Sikora pulled that one out. It's still a really good play for Burus. Just that's it.
Yeah, I mean, she waited, 40 balls for that shot. She got it. She just missed it.
Jumped away from that one there. Yeah, you can see Alison Morgan going over through her steps of what she knows she did wrong on that volley. As it came at her, she jumped back and pushed away with her volley. She just had to stand there and absorb the contact. That's the thing, that heavy ball comes right in there. Ooh. Oh, what a way to lose that first set. She's going for a roller. Takes time and time again.
It was an excellent set, and we'll see more of it coming up. And we will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by My Paddle. the APTA Tour. We are live from the Country Club, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals. So we just finished the first set of this semifinal match between the number 1 seeds, Macy Elliott and Lynn Burus, and the number 3 seeds, Allison Morgan and Charlotte Sikora. It was an excellent set, Brad, but Burus and Elliott took it 6-3.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a lot of good points, just a little better execution, and Burus and Elliott just able to find more offensive opportunities and execute them. And there really is very few places to hit the ball against them. You know, I'm not sure. If you're Morgan and Sikora, do you think their strategy was good? Do you think they have to change anything a little differently?
I thought their strategy was good. I mean, I thought that again, you know, there was just like a few too many loose errors, but I don't know that there's anything that they could have done strategy-wise that would have put them over the top in that set. Do you?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind toying around with the idea of taking some of the air out of the ball, like really like pushing some balls up. There's 2 things I might do a little bit, you know, pushing the balls up, and then occasionally like the high lob blitz could work. And actually, believe it or not, I'd hit some more like, you know, block lobs a little lower, steal some time, and then push them up and back to just create more movement. I just think they're so good, Burus and Elliott, at closing off the net and making volleys. Oh, that's good confusion there. That's perfect.
And I think that's what I would do more, in that flip in the back, because we saw that created, you know, that makes Burus and Elliott have to think, okay, where do I not want to hit it now?
Yeah, but if they're at the net, I'd take a little more air out of the ball, and in the backcourt, I would just kind of change the tempo of the lobbing, just to try to, you know, get a little more movement from them. That was wide, long. Yep, good call. But otherwise, it was a really good set. A lot of shot making. I just think that, you know, apples to apples kind of thing, unless they change the tempo, I think there's a little more places that they're going to find their offense from right now, Elliott and Burus. And in the beginning, we saw a lot of the blitz plays. We're going to still see blitzes, but they're really not doing off the return of serve now.
Yeah, at the beginning, Sikora was just hanging out at the net when Morgan returned.
Oh, beautiful. Nothing anyone can do about that. That's just a great shot. And a lot of people think you should always apologize. What she does, she holds her hand up. But the honest truth is, you take a drive, you got to let go, you earn it. Because you're taking the risk when you take the drive to begin with. So apologizing out of courtesy is a good thing. It's a nice thing to do because you clearly didn't mean to hit the left cord. But you should never feel bad about it.
No, and nobody does. All right, there's the first game for Morgan and Sikora. I do think it's important for Morgan and Sikora to stay ahead in this set. You know, in the first set, they got down a couple games quickly, and they were playing from behind the whole set. It'll be nice for them here to start out in front.
Yeah, playing uphill is a nice thing. And this is a biggie here. If they can actually hold serve, they've struggled holding serve in that first set. I think they only held 1 time. A lot of that just due to, you know, pressure from the return, and also just they're doing a great job just staying steady and then picking their opportunities here at the net. I mean, at the baseline, Burus and Elliott when they get them. Like just lobbing it, pushing them off. Ooh, good deep overhead, put some pressure on the drive, doesn't cover it. Love. just long. She's making the get. She gets back there nicely, and such a good job from Burus. She holds her racket. She's got that full Western type grip, and she's able to kind of slap it inside out, but she loves that one that she brings back inside the line there. She just brings her racket head outside the ball and just slaps it down in there. It's 2 or 3 of those she's made today. And I would actually play her for that shot a lot more if I'm Allison Morgan or whoever's on the line there.
A little confusion there. That's a great backhand falling away overhead. Well,
yeah, but it all led to that confusion,
Yep,
led to the weak overhead, and then just absolutely thumped. You know, maybe at this point, you know, because they got out of position and they couldn't right themselves. And there you see Elliott to clean it up with a huge backhand. All right, what a great opportunity if they can get up 2-love here. And I do think it's a really good point you made before about playing ahead. And I think you're right. They don't want to have to be playing catch up in this set. They got to stay even or stay ahead. Although they know in the back of their minds they were down a full match point, you know, in December against them, and they were able to win that match. So that's got to be, you know, that gives them confidence. And these guys are kind of afraid of nothing. You know, win or lose, they're out here competing, and they're looking to try their strategies. They're always looking to adapt. Oh, it's a really good strike, but she's actually fading away from that ball
falling
a little
backwards.
bit.
See it.
Here she go, moving to her left. She's not really set up for it. I mean, I'm surprised she's this good lob. Instead of being already set and ready to move forward and attack it, she has walking away from that ball there. So it was a good lob.
Missed a few forehands.
Yeah, it's just a great look. I mean, it's 2 forehand misses, uncharacteristic of Burus, but got to execute the balls you get. And this is a moment. Whenever you have these moments as a team, you got to capitalize. To get ahead 2-love here, that's the key. In fact, they're earning.
And then you got to wonder, Burus has missed a few forehands. Is that going to make her think twice about hitting it now?
You know, Jake champions usually know that's their shot and they got to keep hitting it to do it. But you're right. Anybody, and no one is immune to getting the yips a little bit, right? You miss a couple and then you start thinking about it, even though it's your automatic shot. You pretty much need it to win. You know, her big forehand, without it, it's hard to imagine them. If they do win, it'll be like a grind, right? But that part of the reason they're so good back there is they're able to bring offense from all courts, you know, all corners. And yeah, it's going to slow her down one bit, but no one is immune to having, you know, to making a few mistakes and losing a little confidence.
Back to deuce. I thought she was going to bail,
Yeah, I'm
Burus. I don't
surprised
know
she
why she
didn't.
stayed there.
Yeah. She was starting to bail, which just means she's in a bad position to make a volley, so bail.
Right.
And then she doesn't, you know. So that was a bit of a mental error. All right, so another game point here for Sikora. I like these good long deep ones, keeping her back in the box. And just the little blurps there on the Burus forehand. Yeah. And it's 2-love now for Morgan Sikora. And like I said, these are the moments you got to capitalize. You can't anticipate that she's going to keep missing those forehands. Do you think any of those looks were bad looks? Maybe the one she was moving back away from?
The one there she wasn't in position for. Yeah, that was the only one. The other ones she just missed. And you know, like you said, it happened. She's got to keep going after it, but it was costly that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're all good looks. And just, you know, nets all three of them, actually. And here are the moments, you know, that if you're Morgan Sikora, let's capitalize. We got them making some mistakes. Let's keep the pressure on, give them nothing back. Make them earn every point. No.
Sikora going to creep back up here.
Nope, not this time. I'm not sure it's the wisest thing right now. I think they keep building points. They gotta. I wouldn't want to play too many. Like, that's a good lob and blitz, so I got zero problem with that because it's just a perfect lob. She's got nowhere to go with that overhead. No chance of losing the point there. If you don't hit a great return on the return and blitz play, you're actually in worse shape than if you didn't do it, right?
Right, she was a sitting duck on that first
yes,
point.
Exactly, right. So, yeah, keep playing your shots, play aggressive, but don't play points where you can lose them fast. Right now, you got these guys missing a little. They're taking a little. You're getting your backhands, you're getting your drives when you want. She missed that ball. Oh, my goodness. She had it.
There's the push serve.
Lower than the net.
Yeah.
Tough ball to drive there. That was a wise one. I think the dink would have been a play there, or just lob it up and retreat and go back and keep playing. Fun to make. Switch in the backcourt. Yep, that's good. I love that. Good move. And keep watching. If you watch Sikora, she keeps looking. She's waiting for her opportunity to make a blitz or sneak into that middle for some offense.
That was almost it.
Deep roller from behind the service line. We're at deuce.
Ow.
All right, here we go. Great drive there, earns a break point.
big serve.
Yeah, big serve there, heavy into the body. The return game against Elliott, definitely Sikora should be taking strikes all the time. I'm okay with Morgan taking strikes, but that serve is so much harder to return on that ad side, into the body. Good look on the screen drive.
Wow.
Just forcing a ball from too deep in the court twice in that game. And right now, it's Burus and Elliott that are forcing a little bit. And it's also time to talk about another one of our great sponsors, Santo Tequila. Owned by Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri, Santo agave-forward, additive-free tequila is made for those who believe that life is best when lived out loud. You got that bumper sticker, Lauren? Life is best when lived out loud. I subscribe to that. That stuff is great. They had it here, and it's been a terrific tournament. They had a bunch of signature cocktails yesterday. They had the Santo Tequila Paloma and the Santo Tequila Margarita. And they also had a Bully Boy Distillers as well. So, very, it's great stuff.
Yeah, personality, you just have to regroup. I mean, they're just making mistakes, Brad, that are uncharacteristic.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, and one of the things that was transformational for them when they started really having this amazing second half, they actually had learned how to slow play it a little, push the ball deep, lock down the net, make these great shots, and make it so the opponents can't beat us, and then we're going to attack them once we get them going, right? And right now, they're just missing balls. They're not doing that at all. When they're pushed out of positions that are strong, they're actually going for shots and making mistakes. And right now, it's exactly what Morgan and Sikora need, and they're just capitalizing. But half of it's really just Burus and Elliott kind of losing their way a little bit. I mean, it's also...
Again, go ahead.
No, absolutely not. You.
It's sort of how I felt yesterday. Alexandre and Lalich, they were able to hang with them, and so few teams could do that with Burus and Elliott that I think that it becomes slightly unnerving for them, and then they try to do a little too much maybe.
And I think one of the ways, tempo-wise, I mean, sure, Sikora hit a great drive in that 1 point, forced an error on that one. But by and large, a couple of the others were just a little bit more, mental errors from the wrong spot on the court. And you definitely can work on Burus and Elliott that way, And it started with the missed forehands there from Burus. And she didn't miss those in the first set. And, but I expect they'll right the ship, or they'll just have, it'll come back. And if it doesn't, it's going to be a tough set here.
Well, either way, it's going to be a tough set for them because they're down love 3. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, it will be indeed, and they're not going to be able to get it back with one shot, right? So the idea is they're going to have to work this in the proper mindset. And right now, I love the fact that Sikora and Morgan are slow in playing this and looking for their opportunities, and that was just a great waterfall right to the corner there. Moving up the line and calling for help. So just too good. Great shot. Good try there. That was a tough one. But if I am, she can make that shot, but if I'm those guys, I'm going to keep playing steady. I'm going to give them nothing, right? You know, and if that's not a ball that I got that's in front of me, that was a little behind. Now, it's tough in these moments. You just got to make that quick decision. That's a big ball right there. But if you give them nothing right now, Burus and Elliott, they're donating some, so you got to make them go. Once you give one back, it's actually a big deal. All right. Elliott trying to get their first game here in that second set.
I feel like Burus went off for a little, and now I feel like Elliott's missed a few, you know, relatively easy shots in a row.
Yeah, it's so great when your partner can pick you up, but it's sort of been like, and this is just part of playing sports, right? You go in there, you have these moments where you're both sublimely not missing shots. You're hitting your ball, you're executing all the shots you want. And here, like, again, was that a bad forehand? It wasn't a bad forehand. It's an easy ball. She's in front. She's moving forward to it. Ball's higher than the net. It's reading all the criteria. She just doesn't execute. And that'll happen. You got to keep pulling the triggers. She reaches up for that easily. It wasn't really a waterfall. She easily could have let that go to the back screen.
Burus and Elliott do not want another game where they have game points slip away.
Well, these guys are used to ebb and flow in the matches, but it's kind of like the way it's going. But sometimes if you're that good a player, you just chalk it up to, all right, we're not going to keep missing these balls this long. You know, it's going to stop. You know, the one thing they can control is, you know, how many loose errors they make. See, to me, that might be a slight open. It's a shot she's got to hit.
Yeah.
And right now,
Yeah.
they're just not firing on any cylinders.
Yeah. Ooh. Sikora telling Morgan, you got this. You got this.
Yeah, I love their body language together, and their support for one another is awesome. Love that call. And the no one is there's no one blitzing. Always good and a great reminder for everybody. If you're the net player up front, have your eyes forward, watching the other team on those high lobs. You're going to leave that ball there for Morgan, perfectly played. Good blitz call. Yep. All right, so break point here for Burus. Huge difference here from 3-1 to 4-0. At 3-1, you're like right back in the set. 4-0, so much more work to do. Big point. Great lob. Oh, I thought we'd see the backhand drive there. Ooh. That is sneaking in. They are going after Burus in that corner.
Short lobs are not helping her.
Nope, she's hanging in that corner and she's just hunkering down. But she's really not playing it confidently, right? You know, it's more like instead of controlling a lob, she's just trying to get some height and get some breathing room.
She's surviving.
Yes, she's surviving, which she's doing well. But this is not controlling it. It is more, and they're coming after her quite a bit here. But maybe that's what she's got to do is just fight mentally through a point. I mean, that's another short lob there. And just say, come on, no matter what you do, I'm just going to get one back one more time. It's a great look. Screen drive. Nope. Got jammed a little. Smart play not to hit it. You're not in position. You know, they haven't been in control of any of this part here, Burus and Elliott, but they are hanging around, and good things can happen if you do. Oh, and the great blitz, and the coming scares her into the volley down, but that move. Wow. It's so funny. They controlled almost none of that point, and yet they come away with the game, and it's 3-1 now. Great break there for Burus and Elliott.
A much-needed break. Did you make that? No.
Not just wide. We got quite a treat in here. We have Mark Innes himself producing now. He's stepping in while one of our great producers, Gil, gets a little bite to eat, well earned. Actually, I don't know if it's well earned. I think it's a union contractual obligation. He gets to eat once every 24 hours, you know. But, right,
yeah, Brad, it's like
love.
you said, you gotta, 3 lobs seems like a big lead, but they gotta be careful because in a second it could be 3-2, and that is not a big lead. So Morgan and Sikora have to, get over the disappointment of losing that 3-love game and get right back at it.
Well, you're going to look at it two ways. They're trying to capitalize, but really for Burus and Elliott, it's like, solid. They made a good hunkered down on that last point where they're not going to miss. I wouldn't even say they lobbed well or controlled it, but they were able to get it, and they recognized we can't miss here, right? So they did that, and that was great. And part of what got them in the 3-love hold is they started missing. You know, they were missing drives, they were missing overheads, and
a bunch of drives and a bunch of overheads,
and it's not that, Sikora and Morgan were putting in some good shots here and there, but the misses, some of them were not the difficult balls, right? They're just misses. So this is, that's such a good lob. And I'm going to tell you, Morgan's lob down the line, she's gotten really good at it. She got him out of position again, and that one's kind of in between them. I love that. She's developed that short chip, Sikora. So anytime they roll it in there and she switches size, Burus, she's actually chipping it short at her feet and surprising her. It's a good move. There we go. Yeah, she's trying to make something happen.
That ball.
Yeah, misses it. 30-15. You love to shout. There's a great picture of the crowds out there, the paddle hut in the background. Great scene out here. Cool spot here at the country club. Again, beautiful day. Perfect day for paddle, no sun. Reasonable temps. See, this is what I like. This is a good tempo here from Morgan Sikora. Good switch in the backcourt. See if they see it. They do. And they're, Morgan Sikora are going to make, them beat them here, make them come up with shots. And right now they haven't really done it yet. So at this point, they're going to kind of just play tight and steady. And there's killer error when you try to play tight and steady. Burus, Elliott. After being down 3-love. To close this thing to 3-2. That's a great lob. Yeah, good look. And there's a lot of cases where the way Burus and Elliott are doing it, they're doing it every time, so I have to think it's intentional. But whenever there's a ball in between, there she gets her turning around, and she goes for that one, 40-30. You know, whenever a ball's sort of slightly in between, instead of Burus moving to her right and off the court, when they're positioned, you know, like they're playing the ad-court player, Burus is always moving to her left inside a little bit. So when those down the lines get a little bit confusing, they're getting a little bit out of position. I think that was called out. And he had it going in, so that is game. It was a little bit of a late call.
Yeah.
From our vantage point, it's hard for us to even tell, but it was clearly close to the line. So Sikora calls it out, but it's overruled in. Game for Burus and Elliott, and they're right back in this at 3-2, and let's talk about Fusion. In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, they provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Their streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. So visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise. And they do have great stuff. They do great online stores. The whole works. So 3-2 now. Big difference from almost being up 4-love for Morgan Sikora. They're right back in this. And I guess it's just sort of a commitment to making a few less mistakes. And then Morgan and Sikora, I think they needed to go into a mode where they needed to make them beat them. And then in a couple of those crucial moments, we had a turnaround drive that got missed, you know, and they just got to play the right shot so they know they're getting good offense out of it. Everything they give back just gives an opportunity for Burus and Elliott to sort of right their ship, and right now they're right back into it. Still got to get a break of serve back, but, you know, that's a great return. That's going to be out. As she pushes that lob forward. You run in like that, all the momentum's carried forward in the shot. You got to hit the ball almost straight up.
Confusion there.
All right, not fully in sync, you know, at this point. And it's been sort of that way for a bit of the match. In the first set, they did bring some good bombs in there. They were bringing their offense. And, you know, it's been sort of since that game where they missed 2 or 3 drives, it's sort of been a little contagious for these guys. And they're playing, they're not playing scared, but they're playing, it's a tentative thing. They're not sure. And that's normal for anybody. You know, you miss a few balls, and it's sort of just kind of hanging and creeping around.
Better lob.
Yeah, great lob there. Allison Morgan's done a great job in the backcourt when they're back there of really pushing those lobs into places that are starting to get them out of position. It's another great lob. There we go. That's the forehand she was missing, but ooh, perfect recognition of her way out of position. Just hits a chip to the open court. All right, a great leave there from Macy Elliott. Sees that ball going shoulder high with pace. Makes herself a small target, and such a crucial thing for a volleyer to do. Players are grinding this point here. I like it. It's sort of how they started making their comeback. Just you know, again, I don't think they're controlling the point with their lobs, but they're lobbing better. They're getting a little deeper, and they're committed to not missing, which is great. And then if they take a drive, it's going to be something they know they're going to make, and that's the way they're going to have to build their way back into this. Sort of recognizing the gravity of the moment, how solid and tight they have to stay. Great spots. Push
She
over.
surprised her with that forehand. She hasn't hit one in a while, and Morgan just didn't look ready.
Well, you know, it's a great thing, too, because when they're doing that, and you do lob a lot, it's sort of like a bunch of jabs, and then you hit a quick little haymaker like that. It comes in fast and not ready. You soften them up with the lobs. Those are the jabs, and then boom. Quick move like that. And it wasn't even that it was the biggest drive we've seen all day, but it's that there were 70 lobs before, and they're playing this tight point, then all of a sudden, boom, you know, quickie. Ooh, ball hit the seam, and it shoots to the right, and she can't make it. It's one of the hardest things when that happens, and it's very hard. As good as most of the pros know exactly where the balls are going to go, when it hits the seam, you really don't. And that ball shot to the right, caused her to lunge at it. Good fortune there for Morgan Sikora. Game point. And that's out. All right, 4-2.
Big hold. Big hold from Charlotte Sikora.
Absolutely. Pressure now swings right back. They can keep the distance, and you made the point earlier in the set. Such a big deal for Morgan and Sikora to play from ahead. And they got up early. They got up 3-love. It's a little tighter now, of course, but making that separation again, it's a big deal. You know, Burus and Elliott still have to get a break back. All right, it's a really cool atmosphere out there. They got DJs out on the stadium court, jamming music in between. This is our secondary court here, which is in the back where the paddle hut is. Like I said, it's a sprawling place out here. And what a tremendous move.
Oh, she had it.
On the volley, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she hit that way
she
wide,
couldn't believe
though.
how easy it was. Like, yeah.
It's like a meatball, and
right
then she, because you can see her paddle's right on it, and then she just flicks it cross court like that. It's almost like a thought happened in her brain right at this moment, and it, you know, it's just a great move. You know, what's unique about this match too is these 4 teams that are in the semifinals, you know, have been playing each other all year long. They've really have separated themselves, you know, and been in most of the major finals. We have a list of all the people who have played or won in them, and it's really these teams playing each other in any of the major tournaments, right? And you know, although they've beaten them in the past, Morgan and Sikora are not a team that, they're kind of playing with house money, if you will. You know, the pressure really is on Elliott and Burus. And, you know, coming into this match, they were the favorites for probably to win the Nationals, right, on the women's side.
Sure. Sure.
And, you know, any pressure that's going to happen is falling more squarely on them. They can be loose and free, you know, Morgan and Sikora, play this thing and grind it through. These guys, you know, they're definitely missing some balls, and they're going to start to feel the weight of that as it goes on. And also the weight of the fact that they played each other in December and they were up, setting a match point, and, you know, somehow Elliott and Sikora found a way back into that one. Now, I was not able to see that match. I haven't been able to see that match yet. So I don't know how they made their comeback, but impressive stuff.
Look, I mean, everyone knows, certainly Burus and Elliott have played them enough to know that Morgan and Sikora are tough customers, and they would never come out here and underestimate them. And it's a big moment. It's the semifinals and nationals, and you know, pressure does funny things to people, and they all have to deal with the pressure, because even though, like you said, I mean, Morgan and Sikora are the underdogs and are somewhat playing with house money, this is such a big opportunity for them.
Great reflex volley there from Burus. She keeps her paddle in front. It was a terrific blitz. That's a tough one. All right, 30 all.
Another loose volley.
Yeah, she's trying to cut it off and play the offensive volley behind her. She's a little late. The paddle's not out in front of her enough there. Just gets a little behind her. Big moment to put this serve in the box. Huge serve. Another terrific blitz. Oh my God, they're just matching mistakes on that one. It's such a good play. I find that transition volley, by the way, gets missed more than any other shot. You look at it and you go, God, that's such an easy shot. How is it possible to miss any of them?
Transition volley. That's why so many people now don't even try to hit that volley. They just wait.
Right.
Come back in.
You're still moving. You're still going forward, and then your eyes get big. And a lot of times I think players should just punch it down the middle and don't stress yourself out. You've already done the hard work. You know, but they get trying to hit the winner. They try to just get moving, and you're moving fast, and the action's happening fast, and you just miss it. It's probably the most missed shot that looks the easiest, but it's really not. Oh, that time you hear the hit coming from Burus, and she calls it out. She hits the ball down at her feet. Big difference instead of the last two floaters, which didn't get called out, that she was able to cut off. All right. A crucial moment. This match has been filled with them. It's been very interesting. As she goes to the push serve, which I like. Change it up a little.
That's a great play.
Great play. It starts with the great overhead that's sitting on that side wire. Morgan can hit a weak shot. And for some reason, Sikora was kind of pinched to the middle as if she was going to help out Morgan. But once she realized she's got it, she's got to go back into her corner. And the weak lob gets stuffed right behind her there. You know, so we definitely are in this moment. You'd mentioned it before, Lauren. You know, so crucial for Morgan and Sikora to stay and play from in front. And it's also kind of equally crucial for these guys. A little less crucial for Burus and Elliott, but just to keep it close, put the scoreboard pressure back on them. It's like it's breathing room for one team or another. These guys, you know, as much as we were saying a little bit that, you know, Morgan and Sikora have some house money here, it's not. You know, if they're breathing down your neck, the team that's been playing the best all year long in the summer, that's just, you know, you're looking over your shoulder a little bit, even though they're a loose team that tends to play without any fear. it's still a very different look. Oh, another good move. She sees that one coming. They got to make sure to call out.
4-3 is a lot different than 5-2.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Not that they couldn't, Burus and Elliott, of course, come back from a 5-2 set, but it's just different. So different, in fact. A hard one off the side wire, easily driven. What hands?
Ooh.
That's a mistake.
Oh,
they
yes.
both go for the ball. Oh, goodness. And then she actually went through the middle. We talked about being conservative with it, but right there is Allison Morgan.
Allison Morgan almost didn't go for that. She was so surprised that Burus didn't bail and hit that, and she reacted late and hit that weak shot that Burus went for, and it was all over.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. See that? Love it. Nice shot. You know what's unique about and why we talked about the big serve being useful for her. On that side, it really hasn't been on the deuce side. So that push serve, she survived with it for years, won a national championship with that as well. You know, won a couple of national championships with that as well. And what's good about that push serve is it's slow, it allows her to get in, and it stays lower. So the opponent's drive is more of a straight line drive. So if you get in enough, you can get the ball around net high. It's never down below your legs. You know, it's never down below the net. And, you know, she knows how to play that shot too. So it's actually been a good little play to mix in here. Now, the serve itself isn't challenging, but it's harder for the opponent to make the ball dip as much, and she gets in a little quicker. To me, that danger on the push serve is more like if somebody decides to tee it up at your partner early, and they're standing there, and that's a great ball. The down up overhead, right in her wheelhouse.
All because of the switch. All because of the switch in the backcourt by Sikora Morgan.
Been a few moments where they got to see these things a little differently.
Well, you just have to change how you play when Sikora's over there, because she and Morgan create offense so differently. Like Morgan uses the pace and likes to create off the screens, and Sikora can just wallop you.
And I see this one like, yeah, you're absolutely right, but I'm not sure they're even seeing it. You know,
well,
I don't even know they're seeing it. Like,
yeah.
you know, I don't know that they're aware they've switched in the backcourt. It doesn't seem like, there have been moments where I'm like, are they sure? I don't think they know. Yeah, I actually love that little push overhead there. That's great. Control the tempo, the pace the way you want to.
Not an error.
Yep, well, you know, go for all the players, even as great as all these guys are, and that's two of her favorite shots. But to me, it was like kind of a semi-uncommitted backhand. She's a little back, you know, she's on her heels. It almost looks like she drove it at the last second. So a huge game there and a huge turn of events, 4-3 now, as opposed to the 5-2. We've had a couple of big, crucial moments where Morgan Sikora stretched their lead, could have stretched it to 4-0 early on, and it could have stretched it to 5-2 here. Just the champions are hanging tough. Little scoreboard pressure now.
Yeah, they're not going to make it easy for Morgan Sikora. That is for sure.
Yeah, I love it. What's great about this is a match like this makes you feel even better. You got to dig deeper, right? It's not like you're just working on all of your best stuff. You're trying some of your best stuff and you're just missing it. It's not perfect, but you got to rely on mental toughness. You got to rely on your partner, keeping each other together and on page, and it's just a different mental state. There are times, of course, with Burus, Elliott, you know, they just roll through you and their skill set just takes it. But these are the ones you look back at and go, I'm really proud of myself today. You know, I've gotten through this thing. It wasn't perfect, but I'm gutting it. I'm hanging in there. And Morgan and Sikora, the key for them, let's capitalize. Give them nothing. Let's, you know, make sure they know we're out here to beat these guys. And it's good. It's good.
We're at the other women's semifinal, just split sets.
Yeah, they're out there battling. Halbauer and Nicolescu, you know, I think, did they play Burus and Elliott in the, the Fulton Cup on the day before? They had a 6-5 victory. Was it against Burus and Elliott, or was it actually against, I'm going to go back to that, because they had some great results in that, playing out here, and they're playing with confidence, and Halbauer is taking a step forward, coming out here playing all year with Nicolescu. It's been great to watch.
Right, a couple quick points here, a few quick errors, both sides.
Good return. She hit an up spinner up into sort of the face, and she had to actually move in and volley that ball down, but it got up on her and she popped it out. And there's another stick, and as quickly as we've seen some points go the other way, they come right back, and that's the shot right there that sort of had left Burus for a little bit. She was striking it so well in that beginning of the first set. Oh boy, a little let cord in uno, dos, tres, break point.
Yeah, for 2 errors from Elliott, it's all going their way now. So point for 4 all, and big change in the second set if they can, Burus and Elliott can take this point.
Goodness gracious, block lob, and Burus blocks a lot. She is a blocker. I'm not sure that should have been blocked if she thought it was going in the corner, but either way, she's got to make sure her paddle's out in front of her there. It's crucial. All right, here are these moments in the match where everybody knows how big a point this was. Great lob. Ooh.
Sikora's had a lot of good overheads into that corner.
Oh, she is putting a lot of pressure on her and really working the forehand side right into that side screen and over. Nothing going into the middle towards the Elliott backhand. Hard there, good, making them stretch and move. She is doing a great job with the overheads, and they're surviving again. And it worked really well from the last time where Burus and Elliott just locked down and say, we're going to survive this point. You got to hit a winner and nick it out. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Nice blitz move. Oh, so good, those volleys. Yeah, we're going to get a big fist pump from somebody after this point. Huge moment.
Whoa.
Let cord, she goes at the body. Morgan, great position. All right. Out the crease. Good play, she gets right up there on the line. Burus looking to trail. God, this is a battle. That's going to be a great lob. Nice play, track down from Morgan. But if there's a good template to read on this stuff too, is go. Oh, what a dig! You know what they're doing here is forcing these guys, and she goes for something a little bit off, and of course that's how a point like that's going to end.
She was.
Right.
No roller like that.
A player taking a shot from a tough position where it gets a little forced. It was a great point, a lot of back and forth. Everybody recognized the moment to not make that particular error, but invariably that's how those points end, right?
Yeah. Got to end somehow.
Yes, but it's like she's taking a shot a little bit more high risk from further off the court. They've been pushing most of those back. But this is a great template, though, to play, you know, against these guys. If you know, because as good as they are, you try to play it too fast with these guys, you know, with Burus and Elliott, it's going to come back and bite you more often than not. You got to keep it slow and manageable, you know, and in a strange way, it's actually happened on the other side of the coin. One of the ways they've been able to start to dominate in the last two matches, at least against Hanish and Zabori, was they learned how to slow play them.
Right.
And get them to practice and force them to beat them with, you know, the Hanish forehand as opposed to the Zabori. Take the forehand of Zabori out, push the ball deep, make Hanish, even if she takes a strike, we'll close off the net and we'll make the volley. We're going to take the biggest weapon away. And right now what they're doing is, you know, one of their big weapons, and Sikora and Morgan are just making this like tough for them. They're giving them tough overheads, and they're closing off the net, and they're not making it. They're attacking when they need to, but mostly it's just work, work, work.
And they're placing their overheads really well and mixing them up.
Yeah, and giving them nothing.
Sikora.
They're not overdoing it. And these guys right now, they're just hanging in. You know, Burus and Elliott, they're digging deep. They know what this is. They know what their best stuff, and a lot of the stuff is mental, and that's just a huge ball. Perfectly done. She blocks a lot of them. That one she lets go in is
I know,
right.
ironically, that one. That's exactly right.
Oh boy, and then Elliott, no shot. A little bit of a late call there, no help. Really good deep. Oh wow, such soft hands there from Morgan, just drifting it by a blitzing Burus. All right. Oh, goodness.
No.
Again, the blurts, the little blurts. Again, but again, that's a ball that's on this line, and she's forcing it to a small spot. And it's, you know, kudos to Burus and Elliott for putting up that good deep lob and survive it in there. There's a big hit. There's a lot of guts out here now. It's sort of digging deep, waiting for the opportunity. Oh, good fake blitz there. I like that feint move. I think that's really good. You know, where you feint the blitz, try to force it a little speedier overhead. Good recognition that time. There it is. She's going to volley and transition at the same time. Can't multitask that one, and it's 4-all now.
What a time for Burus to come up with one of those big forehands. You know, like we said, she missed a few, but you got to keep going with your best shot, and that was a huge time to pull it out.
It was a massive point, and a game that they all dug deep there. Tough, and it's just going to come down to those two deep overheads. Those are tough. good lobbing and good mental adjustment just to survive in those points and then wait for the one shot that you got. And that's the key in so many things. And if you can keep that kind of discipline, which is not easy to do throughout a match, you generally will have better success. Good play. These guys are working each other up and back. Sikora's developed like she's more of a big hitter back in the day. She's adding other shots in there, like a little soft one.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like a little short chip with a blitz behind it. She keeps adding slowly and surely to the repertoire.
Yeah, she goes for just the big drive much less now. She's found many more ways to get ahead in the point.
Yeah, using placement and and touch some of the time, or just placing ball. It's not about hitting it harder. If somebody's off the net, just hit it at their feet, move forward a little, put the pressure on with placement and positioning.
And movement, right, exactly. Her positioning and movement. Yep.
Great play, nice bail back, and well done there. Good job pushing those guys up and back. A good diet of lob them off and then volley them back in. Little placement. They finally find the cracks and make the transition in. And now here's where it's been actually really, really super beneficial for Burus and Elliott to kind of just go into a lockdown mode. We're not going to miss here, and then take the one shot. And since they've done that, they've been creeping back in this. And they got down from just making mistakes, falling back, hitting the overhead, hitting a roller from behind the service line, trying to hit a cut shot when it's not appropriate instead of just a push overhead. And here they're just, like I said, digging deep. There's a good roller, mixing her chase, but that's an awesome track down from Sikora. I thought that was a good one too, and it got low, but then she's way off the net there, anticipating the lob. And that's just a great shot. Oh, good pace with a little. What ended up happening on that too is she put a little side spin on it, so when it hit that side screen, it shot to the right. And Sikora didn't make an account for that. She thought it was going to hang up in the middle there, and when it shot to the back, she wasn't prepared to get it. Took a swipe. No dice. See, this is the ball here. Many teams would play it the other way. They would have Burus go to the right, and then Elliott would take that ball going in there. These guys do it the other way. It allows them to sort of stay more in the middle of the court, but it still pushes them a little back and away, and it pushes Elliott a little further off the net.
Well, I think they've now adjusted to the fact that Morgan's over on the deuce side.
And there's another switch caused by, she had to go get that other ball. Good high lob. Oh, that's a good setup ball. Such a good lob.
She just really puts that lob down the line, Morgan, on a dime. Exactly where she wants it every time.
Yeah, you can tell the practice and work they put in.
Yeah.
To improve. They've always been a very good team, but they're adding bits and pieces and they're closing the gap all the time. I mean, this year they're a third seed. I think it's their highest seed of all time, and they're tough. And they've had wins over both Hanish and Zabori, plus Elliott and Burus this year. Tough shot. Goes for the backhand drive, can't flip over it. And now it's sort of flipping back the other way, where these guys are trying to find a way to manufacture the points. And maybe, it seems like whoever starts going for it more starts working worse. You know, like it's kind of like a little bit in between. And it's tricky. And when you're in that kind of match, it's really a mental battle. And you got to be so diligent and judicious. Yeah, here's the switch again. So if they find it. Down up ball right into it. Right at the crease, good try. Played.
Oh, that is great. Ah, great by everybody.
Yeah, terrific little sharp chip. And she's always had that sort of bunt low on that forehand. You think, oh, what a spot there. Perfectly done. What a transition. These are the athletic moves that, you know, outside of the top, you know, 4 or 5 teams, you know, it's a lot of these teams aren't able to make them the way these guys are. It's definitely one of the separating factors. Just a great get. Beautifully structured point from the backcourt there. You know, remember the first set in those first games, how many more drives, you know, per lob we had from Burus and Elliott? It was like a barrage, right? And now it's drying up too. We got to wait for the right one. We're missing too many, and we're making the comeback. And they've already come back. Now it's a question of can they pull this thing out? Because they got to stay with what got them back in this thing, and that is just grinding, steady play. And that lob goes long. It's the right shot. A good cross-court lob was the play. Just pushed it long.
God, every one of these games is coming down to the wire. It's just
it's another crucial point too, right here.
Tight games, 30 all points, deuce points, break points, game points. Just nothing's easy.
And it isn't. And they've been not like somebody just like one time in a shot here. It's been like a grind. And there's like a big moment. She tries a chip short angle return. Wow.
That feels so good as the server.
So good.
Easy point like that at 30 all. Gosh.
Oh my goodness, and I'm shocked to see that, you know, at this moment where you're building and you're hard. And if it comes down to it, we're going to look at 3 or 4 points here in the second set if they're able to complete this comeback, and it'll be those 2 returns and probably the 2 overheads from a little deep in the court in that other crucial game. You know, it's just going down to these couple of shots.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Burus for coming up with, especially that last serve was a good deep serve, but that was, you know, I don't know what on the part of Morgan and Sikora. Tried for too much.
Yeah, I mean, but Sikora's was even more interesting. Had she even tried a short chip return on any other ball in the entire match?
I don't think so.
Yeah, pulling it out at that moment seems. I don't know what it seems. I guess it seems a little too bold, actually, I guess is the word. But I guess, you know, in some senses, you get nowhere until you try these things. And I think Morgan and Sikora are really still in the experimental phase with a lot of things they're doing. And you can see the incredible improvement they've made all across the board. It's so impressive. All right, so fault out there. 15-love, and Burus Elliott really dug deep here. 3-love down in this second set, taking the lead now, 5-4. And they didn't do it with they did it by digging deep, not by stellar just we're going to turn this up 7 notches. They did it with we're going to mentally battle this one out.
And they've had to because Morgan and Sikora are too good. They can't just turn it up and hit them off the court. They've had to grind. And they still have to. It's not over yet.
Oh, no, absolutely. This is actually as crucial a moment as any. And you could feel, actually, though, like Morgan and Sikora still look They, like we said, they do just have a loose vibe about it. Not loose in terms of mental or other things, just like, you know, we're playing. They're still fine with opening it up. It seemed like, you know, there were moments where it was so crucial and so tight. Now she's going back to, I'm going to make this thing move. These guys are going to survive, hang in there. No matter what they throw at us, we're going to wait and take that right ball, and no matter what you hit, we're just getting it back. Oh, all right. Here we go. Yeah, good overhead. She gives it a side back, and it pops quickly to the corner. She could have let go off the back, but she wasn't in position to make the move. There's a big return through the middle. We hadn't really seen that type of transition play in a while. Those huge returns and sneaking in behind it. Oh.
Got her with a backhand.
Yeah. I think it was actually the Morgan move that, Morgan just coming forward that scared her. It didn't seem like a killer, right, that drive, but it was just quick and she wasn't ready. Morgan's coming forward, so 30-15. This match is not over, called out. Confirmed by the umpire?
Yeah.
Okay. The ball, but I didn't really hear a call, and then they just stop and play, so clearly called out. 30-30. Stretch volley
return.
for our first match point here for Burus and Elliott. This is exactly where they were in December. Up a set and match point. Not done yet. Morgan Sikora able to come back that time. See about here. All right, more battle. Careful drive. She's hitting them just to move them back in, but they're careful. So waiting for the one ball she can thump. Hasn't happened yet.
No, Sikora's hitting those good low rollers.
Oh, good roller up the side. Great track down. Such good athleticism. Screen drive coming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good lob. Here it is. Transition. Switch. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
See, and that's the interesting thing though. They always play that shot where they having Burus move to the left.
Yeah,
and
it looked like
she's
they were
moving
a little
that
confused.
way.
Yeah.
And she should be getting off the court, and the other player should be coming in to cut it. But they just don't play it that way, and that's a couple of shocking conclusions there. Like, ends to a thing. So deuce, wow. And there's an out
serve.
drive, big serve, and she made her last two. So game point here. This is not over. And you hear the crowd in the background. Come on, Macy. There's a whole contingent from Wilton here. And they played in the event in the Fulton Cup the other day, too. So we got plenty of fans out there.
Good serving by Sikora this game. She missed the serve on the first point. It's been rock solid ever since. Good serves.
Yeah, you hate to see faults decide a match, but they are such a crucial moment. In these big moments, these guys have actually really responded. We had faults early on in the match, but since then it's just been rock solid serving, especially on the big points. Oh, good position, volleying, and wow. Incredible get. Whew. Oh, my nerves. All right. Here we go.
Mistake by Sikora. She was so far over and left herself open for the volley behind her.
Oh, these type of matches really aren't good for my hypertension, Laura. I don't know.
I was wondering if she would try to hit that one. She missed the last one. Last screen drive off the serve.
Oh, she struck two before it.
Yeah, hit a great one before it.
So she plays a conservative route. So many players with different attitudes about it. Like, I know certain guys like Wannarai, he's like, I want you to hit that return. Like, he wants you to go for it in these big moments, not play it tight. And it's for good and for bad. It allows you to be loose in the big moments, but it's more of a chance. But it's more of a gambler, winning mentality versus. It's not winning versus losing. It's just more of a risk-taking mentality.
Perfect.
Other guys like Broderick, who'll eschew the return most of the time. That's out.
Yeah.
Same thing on the women's side as well. That's a big forehand right in the wheelhouse. Stuffs it, makes it reach. Match point number two. Oh. Just these little moments. Drive? Nope, not in position.
No.
Yeah, I thought she might get around it. She didn't. So she was wise. Let's put it up. Oh, beautiful. She moves around it. Transition. Oh, and there it goes. Oh, what a way to end it. Ball discussed, but with a smile, as would be the Morgan and Sikora way. There's the turnaround ball and the blitz behind.
I mean, Morgan and Sikora came up short, but they played a really terrific match. They are really deserving of their #3 ranking, and they're knocking on the door at higher. Great playing by everybody.
Yeah, and you could see there were just great heartfelt hugs out there on the court from all the players. A lot of respect in the work they had to put in there. And like I was saying before, it's a match that you come away and you take. We battled that one. We brought that home. Easily they could have been out of that second set burst. One moment Whoop, there it is coming on in the background. I guess that's as fitting a song as ever to end us up here. So any final thoughts, Lauren?
I mean, you know, the other women's semi is still going on. It's 3-all in the third, and either way, whether Hana Sabori win or Haldar Nicolescu, I'm looking forward to a great final. And I think coming up any minute now, we're going to have a men's semi, and that's a wrap from the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals women's semifinal. Thanks, Brad.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Stay tuned for men's semifinals.
Every day, big decisions are made without full information, overloaded by data, compounded by complexity. Better decisions are made in the light, with clarity and confidence. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
What I love most about the volley machine is I can come down here and work on my game when I can't find friends.
Volley and I have been dating for several months now, and things are getting pretty serious.
My favorite thing about the volley trainer is to be able to work on the target, contact window, and tool all in my vision.
My favorite shot with the volley trainer is the push volley.
I really love the video feature of the volley machine. That has really helped me improve.